Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of Doing's Corner. Like most of you already know, my name is Doing David, and I am the host on this podcast. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about love. Like I always say, I would say that love is the greatest emotion and the most powerful emotion that anybody can ever feel. Love comes in different forms. So you have self-love, you have love for your family members, you have romantic love, you have love for your friends, and you have love for even strangers. Because I would say the biggest commandment that God gave to us is to love our neighbors just as much as we love ourselves. And to discuss this topic with us today is the number one relationship expert in Nigeria, nobody else but bless you. See you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much. Okay, so today we're going to be discussing love, and I couldn't think of any other person to bring to have this conversation aside you, because I mean, who else in Nigeria? Okay, so I'm going to ask my first question. What does love mean to you? How do you define love?
Okay, I'll define it in the most simplest way that a layman can understand. Love is kindness. Love is how you choose to treat people. It's a choice. That's the reason why you can treat this person this way and treat the other person this way. So it's just an act of kindness.
Right. So love to you is kindness. I would say for me, love is sacrifice. Love is doing something that is costing you, but you're doing it just because of how much you care about this person.
It's not love.
Really?
You could call it obsession. You could call it foolishness. Yeah.
Really?
You cannot deprive yourself and say you love somebody. No. When you are in love, you share. And that's what goes on in relationship and marriage. You give. And when the person cannot give you back, you start to feel entitled. That's why you see young girls fighting, pouring acid, doing diabolical stuff. Is because you've given all. Love is just an act of when you understand that I need to be kind to this person. I need to be nice to this person. You will just see yourself. Normally, how does love even start? It starts from a conversation. A nice conversation. You've never met me before. Probably maybe you've been seeing me online and you have a perception about me. And you meet me one day, maybe you were walking past and let's say your glasses fell and I pick it up and give to you. Be like, wow. That perception you had about me will change automatically because of that kindness.
Right.
So that's the meaning of love. So a lot of people complicate love. Love, sacrifice is like an ingredient of that kindness because you need to be kind to someone to sacrifice to the person.
Sure.
Yes. So all those things, sacrifice, comprehension, blah, blah, blah. You need to be kind enough for you to even pay attention. Who are haters? Who are enemies? People that don't want to listen to you because they don't like you. So there is nothing you want to say that they would ever listen to. But when you are kind to somebody, what do? You want to understand where the person is coming from. So love is just kindness. So that we stop, running around.
Right. Okay, so do you believe in love at first sight?
Nah.
You don't think it's real?
Nah.
I think there are some people that argue that, they met their partner and instantly they knew that, this is the person for me.
That wasn't love. Love, there's nothing like love at first sight. For you to love people, you have to know them. It's attraction at first sight, lust at first sight. Every one of us have a spec. We have that man, tall, that slave. You have that woman, different types. So when you see them, they're attracted to you. That's the reason why sometimes a man can meet you, you're attracted to him, he has 1-2 dinner with you, and he never calls you again.
Because he's gotten to know you.
Because he's know that you don't have that thing that he's looking for. Right. So there's nothing like love at first sight. Somebody is attracted to. Men are visual beings. True. So when you're looking pretty and you're looking good, you attract any man. Let him see you in your normal state. Let him see you in your sea finish. And know he's still going to be there.
Right.
Just that. Right. So there's nothing like love at first sight.
You said, if you see somebody the first time, the only thing you feel is lust. Lust and infatuation, they're the same thing, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what is the difference between infatuation and love? How can you tell? Because some people can say it's very similar. How can you tell if somebody is just infatuated by you or they actually love you?
Infatuation simply means there's an expectation. You just see somebody because of the kind of car he drives, because of what he looks like. You're already building castles in the air, Telemundo and Z1 in your mind. And especially we women, we are the problems. Sometimes you see some women saying, this man is wicked. The man has not committed to you. You just saw him, you liked him, you started imagining that he was your husband. So that's infatuation. Infatuation comes in when you know someone. You don't even know if you can live with this people. That's the reason why I used to ask most of my clients. Some of them will say, lead me to love, lead me to love, lead me to allow them to love. Those people that they love are the ones that end up killing them because they do not understand the real meaning of love. Like you said, sacrifice. When you want to love, you must be ready to compromise. You must be ready to, I used to tell people that love is work. Love is a bare ground. You know when you buy land, you know how bushy that place can be. It's only someone that has foresight that can say, I can make something out of it. By the time you start clearing the grass, start putting up something, people wouldn't know that that place was once a forest. Though. Even all these Lekki we are here right now, they were all bushes. So that's infatuation, when you expect. The love is when you want to give. You don't want anything back. You just want to give. And it's more fulfilling.
So how can a young girl now that is confused, she's just met this guy, she's not really sure if he really loves her or not. What are the things that she would see from this guy that can help her say, you know what, this guy loves me? What are behaviors that people would exhibit to show that, you know what, I love you?
First is communication. The person always wants to talk to you. Because without talk, there's no love. I can only love you when I know you. And I can only know you when you talk about yourself. I don't know you, madam. If I meet you now, I'll ask you, what is your name? Where are you from? If I want to be your friend, I start to get close to you, start to study you. That is it now. So anybody that does not want to communicate with you, it ends up in just sexual intercourse. And that's why you see some people that the only thing that bonds them is just that love making. I don't even want to call it love making, sex. That's what bonds both of them. After the 5 minutes or 10 minutes, everybody turns their back. There's nothing else. Then the girls go and start doing house chores, doing wife material, thinking that it's okay, it's when I clean the house, wash plates, cook food. It's a man that is talking to you. That's the reason why most married women, when they come for counseling and they keep telling me about side chick, I say something. Don't be afraid of the woman that your husband is sleeping with. Be afraid of the woman that your husband is talking to. That's the one that holds him. Communication. It's someone he spends time. Sex don't mean anything to men as we think. Sex means more to women than men. It's just that society has made us to be pretending as if we don't like it. But if we want to visualize it, men just do that for ego's sake. A lot of men are looking for a woman that can listen to them. Many wives, before the man even explain, they've exploded. There's no conversation. So if you want to know that this man actually loves you, he wants to listen to you, you bring a business idea, he's interested, you want to tell him about your day. There are some people, how do you know you're in a relationship? If they check your call log, if you check my call log, you will see a particular person that calls me more than 15 times every day. So that person communicates with me. If you can't be my boyfriend and you not talk to me like 5 times a day, you are getting
5 times.
Almost.
Okay, isn't that a lot? Fine.
That's all. That's how, because we always talk. He wants to tell me, someone just came to my office right now. This is what the person did. The person cried. He didn't work. Should I do this? Should I remove discount? And like I'm part of his business and I'm part of his life. Same with me as I'm coming out right now. Where are you? I'm in an Uber. Have you gotten to where you're going to? Where is the place? We've done video call. That's commitment. That's communication. So that's how you get to know that someone is not serious with you. Why would I be asking all those questions? Because relationship is a lot of stress. So I think it's communication is the key for you to know that, okay, this person is really interested in me.
Fair. I think I really, really agree with that. I resonate with that answer a lot. Okay, so it takes me to my next question. There are people that say that I love this girl, but I still cheated on her. I love this girl, but I'm still talking to this other person. Or some people would even say, I love the two of them. Do you think it's possible to love two people?
Yes.
Really? And it is true love?
Yes.
At the same time?
Yes.
How?
We give different things. You cannot give your boyfriend everything he wants. I cannot give my boyfriend everything he wants. And that's where discipline comes in. Love is contentment. There are so many things around here, but I chose you. And if I choose you, I put my energy in you to bring out the best in you. It doesn't mean I cannot love somebody else. Really? Yeah. You can love more than 10 people, but choose to commit to one person. That's why amongst these people that you love, even our kids, we might not say it, we always have that favorite child. As mothers, we will not say it so that others don't feel bad. So, but is this favorite child you like? Maybe you see a similarity of this your particular child when you were growing up, that this child also have this traits. So you begin to love this child more. So cheating does not stop someone from loving you. So long as the person is treating you right. Yes, really. You know one thing we need to understand. I used to tell people that human beings are not biscuits. You can't own them. It's only these pillows, objects that I can say, stay here and you stay here. They have minds of their own. They chose to stay with you. They will still choose not to stay with you. You cannot force it. And that's why you need to keep evolving. And the biggest problem about relationship is once we start dating, we stop growing. Especially women. You will now focus on the man, pursuing him everywhere he's going to, scrolling through his phone, knowing the woman he's sleeping with, while he is growing himself. That period you're busy chasing him up and down, he might be chasing money. What happens? He outgrows you. Men outgrow, yes. So that's the reason why you need to keep up with the game. Like, what is trending? What is happening? You need to put an effort. All these lucky girls, like they used to call them, come and collect your husband, because they don't joke with themselves. When you see, in quotes, a lucky girl, you will see an intentional woman that takes time to take care of herself. But when you see most of these housewives, they are not intentional. They make it look as if I don't marry. They say I don't marry. When your husband goes out, remember, they are visual beings. When they see these girls and like these girls, and these girls can communicate, Otilo, you don't go.
Right. So you are saying if I have a partner, for example, he claims to love me, everything, and then he goes out and he has sex with another person, it's possible for him to still have sex with that person and still love me at the same time.
Yes, sex is different from love.
Right. But like when you're having sex with somebody else, you are hurting that person that is in the house. You are
The person doesn't.
if that person doesn't know.
Really? Cheat, but don't get caught.
But is that love? That's not being honest.
That's love.
Really?
Well, real meaning. Let me break it down. What do you call honesty? Honesty simply means you did not catch me. Doesn't mean I don't do it.
Sure.
Yes, I used to say this. There's so many things our parents did that to us, our parents are sent, but they did worse things that we never knew. The difference between our generation and our parents' generation now is this social media that is exposing a lot of things. But when there was no media, most of our parents misbehaved. They smoked, they drank, they did a lot of bad things. But because the media was not there to showcase all the stuff, it made it look as if our parents were sent in those days. Cheating does not stop you from loving someone. It's sex. Sex is just exercise. You just want to call and just go. But you just now see, I'm going to give you an instance. A friend of mine said, normally, he used to patronize polo shows around girls. He met this particular one. After they were done doing the do, this girl speaks so well. So she was waiting for her Uber. Uber was taking time. So that opportunity, they were now communicating. Now in this Olosho called enter Amo. He called ask the girl, you are so pretty. Why are you doing prostitution? She said, she don't get money, goes to He said, how much will it cost for me to? She said, she can get like 500K now. Pay her school fees and get a small business. There and there, he transferred 1 million naira to her. Apart from the money that the pimp, because the pimp that would give, he said, for me relationship. He thought he could change her, blah, blah, blah. They were talking. So he traveled and came back. I went to meet his friend in an apartment. The friends, they were now having like a small party. They now called the pimp and say, organize babe for us. So they organized babe. As the 4 babes enter, he considered like, oh babe, when all fake say she didn't sleep out, was part of the pimp. Do you understand?
Right.
You see my point right now. He loves the girl, but to men, it's just sex. It's we women that attach emotion to sex. Men don't attach emotions to sex. They just want to come.
Wow. That's a bit weird to me.
A reality that
Because some
don't
people
want
have
to
sex, but it's not just sex, it's actually love making. That should mean something more than just, oh, enjoyment. I just want to come. When you are making love with
That's why we
somebody,
call it sex and making love. You know, I corrected myself
okay,
because
that's
when I
true.
said
That's
that
true.
love making is passionate, there's conversation, you're comfortable. When you're having sex with somebody, you just like, to men, sex is like ego. They feel powerful when they've knocked this girl. This girl is like this, that. It's power to them, it's ego, it's not love.
Fair enough. Okay, so I think one of the most common things these days that I hear about is, oh, my boyfriend is not behaving properly, or he's not treating me well, or he's not this one, or he's not that one. There's a lot of complaints about, maybe just one person in the relationship working for the relationship and the other person is just being relaxed about everything in the relationship. Would you say, how would you advise somebody that is in that situation, that maybe their partner is not doing what they want, then their partner is not behaving right? How would you advise that person to handle that situation?
Your partner is not a child. The problem is that when we're in a relationship, we want to treat our spouses like babies. They are not kids. And when you want to treat a man like a child, he will rebel. The question is, how are you going about it? Communication.
Sometimes you communicate and
We're not
communicate.
communicating was a woman nag.
Hmm.
First, you massage his ego. The same way Delilah massaged Samson and back his head. How did that strong man sit down and Delilah remove all his power? One thing about our generation, I always use because it's us. This feminism and this independence that we have, and we now know that we have the capacity to also make money, makes us to compete subconsciously with our spouses. Phrase, subconsciously. You start to compete with them. What's anyone want to do for me? You don't talk the right way. Men are babies. Women are more hardened than men. Men just want you to just make them feel a certain way. There is nothing a queen cannot collect from a king. But you see how she serves him. She will kneel down. She will bring bowl. Our mothers got all they wanted from our fathers because they played. Yes,
really, yeah. I think our mother suffered a bit though.
There's suffering. That wasn't suffering. That's what marriage is about. The point now is that we are mixing the American culture, American religion with our religion. That's what's confusing us. If you want to be an African, be an African. There are some things that don't work here. So no matter how you want to fight it, it does not work here. It's just like this cheating thing. When you travel out of the country, women have more power. When a man cheats on you, you have something to hold on to. They can divide his property, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, if she cheat on you, they'll tell you, if you cannot stay, my sister, go. Let the other person come back. So I'm just going to say, find a way to communicate with this man and massage their ego. Me, I'm a very authoritative person. If I'm talking, you think I'm shouting. I had to learn it. To bring down. Sometimes when I'm talking, you tell me, maybe your voice is going higher. And I say, okay, I have to calm down. And there's no way you talk to a man like a baby that he will not accept. Trust me. Except he doesn't love you.
Because I'm sure there are people that would argue that, they've tried every means possible to communicate with their partner. I personally have been in that situation before where I was with somebody and it just felt like I couldn't get through. Even if I talk to him like he's a baby, I massage his ego, if somebody doesn't want to work with you, they don't want to work with you.
He doesn't like you, then bounce.
Sure.
It's just, these things are signs. If I'm telling you something and I'm telling you that this thing is hurting me, you're doing it over and over again, you don't like me now. Someone does not want me to tell you that it's over for you to, you bounce. If a man likes you, he would listen to you. He would want you to communicate. So once you said something 1, 2, 3 times and he doesn't hear, you become a nag. What do? You ignore. And when you start ignoring in your relationship, the relationship is dead. Sure. So when you get to that point where you correct someone the first time, the second time, the third time, you bounce. That's me. I'll just give you space, because a lot of men have turned a lot of women into animals. Sometimes you look yourself in the mirror and be asking yourself, now maybe this attitudes that you didn't know that you have. You will see one demon will just bring out that in you, and you'll be asking yourself, could this be me? The same thing, it's like vice versa. So when you see that these people are not willing to work with you, just step back a bit. Sometimes bouncing does not mean you must break up. You ignore them. When you ignore people, sometimes it makes them come back to their senses. than when you talk. Yes, sometimes just ignore. It's just like a little child. When you have kids, you shout, 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 shout. You ignore them and start watching them. Until one day, that gas that you told them not to go, they'll put aside, it will hurt them. You don't go there again.
Right. There's this debate online. Some people say love is enough. Some people say love is not enough. I, for one, think that love is not enough. But there are people that say love in its truest and purest form is enough. I want to know your opinion on this.
Love is not enough. Love is just noise without action. What is love? If you can't show me the love, what is love doesn't work in relationship and marriage. As in, what works most is, can I talk to you? Can you comprehend? Anybody you can talk to, you can love. That's why I go and watch most people. They marry the least people they ever thought they would marry. You see, someone will tell you, I never believed I could marry this man. If they had told you when you were 18, 19, they were going to marry the man you are marrying now, you will say it's a lie. Why? Look for a man that can listen to you. Communication is the first key. Love dies. It's like a plant. You water it. Why do you water love? We talk.
Even if it was true love, like unconditional love.
This thing you're saying unconditional love, we are the one putting so much English in it. It's still the kindness. And that is what we used to deceive ourselves. Now, the problem is, especially when we met, we build castle in the air because of the movies we've watched, because of the magazines we've read. So we already have a picture in our head of what our relationship and marriage should be. If we are not getting it, we begin to rebel. That's not reality. What is reality? I met this man. I've seen his imperfections. The first thing you ask yourself, can I deal with these imperfections? If you cannot deal with it, my sister, stand aside. Because the kind of strength I have is not the kind of strength you have. Some women can tolerate beating. I know someone that said that I'm going to beat her for 90 years. They are still in love. There's one that they just slap, she pack her load. So just know your capacity. Do you understand of what you can take? Because when you get into marriage, responsibility will reduce all those drama. You people will barely even have sex. The responsibility reduces a man's sexual libido. You don't know? Because that's when reality begins to dawn on you. If let's assume he's working in the bank, he has to wake up 5. Let's assume people are staying on the mainland. You wake up by 5 a.m., drive to the office, come back. Probably he has to wait for hold up to reduce. 9 a.m. His best favorite is his pillow. So all those your expectations are not, you start saying my husband does not love me. Marriage makes reality dawn on you. You as a person, you have to satisfy your in-laws. You might get pregnant along the way. You have to satisfy your family. You have to satisfy your colleagues. And it falls more on the woman because you have to do a lot of things to put this family together. Because if this family tear, they go say that when you come, now your family is scattered. So it's not about love, it's about work. If you don't have strength, don't marry. I keep telling people that. That's the reason why you see that today they will marry, tomorrow everybody will run away. It's because a lot of people do not know that. So you see some young people telling you, I don't like stress. So if you don't like stress, remain in your father's house because marriage is stress. Marriage is where you access somebody, baby, what is it? Nothing. Baby, what is it? Nothing.
And there's nothing more annoying than that thing. Like,
you are giving me a just talk. So sometimes some women are not patient. They may not raise their voice.
Yeah.
From the raising their voice, it now turns to bass boost. That's how the slack begin. Both sides. And women do not like it when they are being kept quiet. A lot of us don't like it. So that's what triggers, and some men will keep quiet. So because he wants to know what is in their mind, you might persist. He wants to walk out of the room, you stand by the door. He wants to open the door, the next thing you're getting is a slap. From there, bass boost. So love is not enough. Build yourself. I keep telling people, if you're single and you're going into marriage, you're going into plant. Your singlehood gives you the fruits that you want to plant in that marriage. And it's what you plant. That is what you pluck. It's like bank. It's the money you put in the bank that will be generating interest. So it's a bare land. And remember that we are married to different calibers of people. What works for this person cannot work for this person. But the one thing, major thing that works in every relationship is communication. If I don't talk to you, I don't know you.
Okay, I have this question. People would say it's better for the man to love the woman more than the woman loves the man. I think it's better for the man to love the woman more because we women are able to, even when we're no longer in love, we're able to just, behave ourselves just to make the relationship work or to make the marriage work. But men, once they're no longer feeling the girl, they cannot act right towards the girl. They cannot. So what do you think? Do you think it's better for the man to love the woman more? Or do you think there's a higher chance for a relationship to work out when the man is more invested in it than the woman is?
Both parties have to be invested.
If nothing is ever 50-50.
It is 50-50 when you understand it. When one person loves the other person, it looks as if the other person is doing the other person a favor. Isn't that okay? There was a lady that told me, I'm too pretty for the man I married. She's too fine. Some men will feel I'm too rich. There are other girls. No, it has to be 50-50. If we cannot come to it, because there is something you saw in me that I can add to your life to make it better. And that's what I keep preaching to women. It's not about love, sex. Men are not foolish. There will be something you can do for a man that will make him attached to you for the rest of his life. It's not just love and sex. Those ones you can get it anyway. Are you invested in him? Do you know about his business? Can he come to you for advice? Some men can't talk to their wives. They talk to their secretary more. How do you think most secretaries and PAs start to sleep with other? Communication. Because they are the closest person to their boss. When the boss is rocking his head in the night, it's the PA that is there. Can I get you coffee? From coffee, they start to gist. From gist, once it begins to happen. You will now be wondering, why would this person have to stoop this low? Communication. She understands the business. She's the one that runs the business. So I'm just going to say, love is just noise. Let's leave the love and let's do the work.
Right. As a young girl, I'm not married. I hope to get married one day. What are the traits you think every young girl should look out for in a man before they say, this is the man I'm going to get married to?
First of all, find the man that has conscience. Because a lot of these men we had in Gen Z.
Very mean.
Very mean people. Look for a man that has conscience. A man that is willing to unlearn and relearn. Our biggest problem in a relationship is that we want to take those things our fathers and our forefathers taught us to our relationship, forgetting that the world has evolved. Now, when you are not willing to unlearn and relearn, marriage cannot work. Remember, we're coming from two different backgrounds. You have to teach me. I will have to teach you. We will now come to a common ground, have an understanding of what we want to teach our children. So when you don't have that man that can unlearn and relearn, let me now use the word, marry somebody that is teachable. No, be a true no. That's why all these men that are in their 40s and 50s, they think that they are still around the world. Some of them are still full at 40. They don't want to learn it. Some men, you can't advise them. They'll tell you, this small girl. If you're not, why did you marry me if you think I'm a small girl? So look out for that man that is willing to unlearn, relearn, and teach. And marriage will be so beautiful. You can call him and say, baby, the way you drop this stuff. Like, I'm dating someone that is very carefree. If I won't be shut and drop it here now, I'll pick it the first, pick it the second, because you're saying, sweetheart. Listen. I'll say, please, pick it. Now, that is his nature. I am gradually training him. I also have my own flaws that is also training. So we are teachable. So it's easy for us to blame. But some men will tell you, pick it up, you're a woman, you're my wife, or you're my girlfriend. That's the orientation their parents give them. But when they meet you and they are willing to unlearn and relearn, relationship and marriage will be very, very sweet.
So there's something my mom used to always tell me. She would always say, you can never know somebody you haven't lived with. And for some reason, she's the biggest advocate of you need to live with your partner first before you get married. And to an extent, I understand it because I truly feel like if you go on dates with somebody, if you hang out with them, maybe go on a trip with them, even if you date them for 2-3 years, you can never really know them to their core if you haven't lived with them. What's your opinion on that?
To live with somebody.
To live with a partner before you get married.
Well, I'm not an advocate to that. You can visit.
See finish. But the thing is this, people say see finish. If you were scared that, oh, this man will see us finish if we're living with him before we get married to him, when we get married, we're still going to live together. So if the see finish is going to enter, it's still going to enter at some point.
See finish in the sense that there's so many things people will get to say in marriage and manage than when you're dating. It's easy to toss you away when there's no commitment.
Isn't it better to toss you away before it has got into the marriage level than to get into the marriage and he eventually says, oh, bye, I can't deal with this?
Smart woman that pays attention. You don't need to live with a man to know him. Lots of people, even people that are living with men, the men still left in the same house. The man had married another wife. They heard it so well. A lot of people are married and they have side chicks. How come their wives didn't know? It's because they don't pay attention. So it's not about living with the person. When you live with a man, you reduce your value. That's what happens because you're prone to be sleeping with this man almost every day. You might get pregnant. You're prone to abortion almost every time because he's not ready at that point in time. He gets bored. Men want their space. Especially when there's a relationship. Give them their space. You can go on a weekend, spend 3-4 days.
But somebody can pretend if you're there for a weekend.
You cannot if you're anybody, even if you live with them for 10 years. Marriage is like a school. People will continue to evolve. That's the biggest problem we have. You were not the same person you were 5 years ago. If you had dated somebody, let's assume your boyfriend right now, if he's talking about you, your ex might be surprised. Because he did not see that part of you. You grew.
Right.
So that's the growth. Now, in marriage, a lot of people do not understand, but when you grow, they say you started changing. There were some things, I used to be married. I got married at 18. I was acting like an 18-year-old girl. Now I'm 34. You don't expect me to still have that mindset. Some men cannot stand. Some men actually married you because you were naive. Then when you begin to grow, it becomes a problem to them. There are some men that marry women because these women don't ask them questions. Sit here. They will sit here till the man come back. 3 years later, sit here. The girl asks you, baby, why do you want me to sit here? Disrespectful. Hey, that's your friend where I see you the fool. So that's the point. It's growth. It has nothing to do with living with somebody. The moment a woman starts to live with a man, it's disrespectful too. That's my woman. Yes, it's to the woman. Go on a visit, then pay attention. Women are FBI. If you want to know, you will know. So women just pretend not to know because they still want to be in the relationship.
Right.
Yes, because even if most of them have caught their boyfriends, they do not still go. They still in the relationship. So living with a man to me is a no-no.
Even after engagement, what if he has already proposed and you people are like walking towards getting married? You still don't think it's right to live with him after he has proposed?
Don't live with him. You can visit long. Have your house. Even if you want to go and stay there for 1 week, so in case anytime you want to acquire,
you have somewhere to go to.
He will be privileged that you have a house and you are comfortable. It's like living in the comfort of my home to come and stay with you. I have house, I have AC, or anytime you do shakara, we move. He has more respect. Maybe you stay like a week, you go to your house, you stay like a week, but don't stay with him for that long because you choke him. Men love freedom. Even in marriage, sometimes allow him. When he wants to go out, okay, baby, you must not go every minute. Are you a bodyguard? So when you do all this, it makes a man start to feel like you're choking him. But when you give a man freedom, he will come back. Is that the problem with us women is that we think that men are biscuits, that they are objects that we can hold to ourselves. They are human beings. Even dogs. If you don't tie a goat or you don't chain a dog, you'll be running up and down. Two of us.
True.
So they are not dogs, they are not goats. Human beings are free people. Let them love you genuinely. Right. And don't force, any relationship. Then you have to not see where your boyfriend will go out and come back, or your husband will go out and come back and come and gist you what happened. Babe, I see this girl, man. If you see shit, be his friend. That's the sweetest kind of marriage. You go tell her, and then you say, for club, gist about it. But some men can't even do that with their eye. But once you just tell and say, I see babe, fight, bottle don't they fly everywhere. Because some women are not understanding. So I'm just going to tell women, learn to communicate, learn to comprehend, and learn to build yourself.
And then to my final question, how important is finance in a relationship / marriage?
I'm going to quote the love is sweet, but when money enter, love is sweeter. So finance is a major role in relationship and marriage. If you are a man and you're not, we not say you should be a Dangote or be an Etedela, but you need to be able to take care of it. There is this joy when you can give to a woman that you love. And if you cannot take care of your woman to a certain level, you will always have complex. You will always have insecurity issues. So I'm going to tell a lot of men, before you love, walk. Love doesn't run away. Do you understand? You see a beautiful woman looking good. Sherry is good. It's not money. It's money she used to take care of herself. And this Avada has tried to some certain extent. If a man comes into your life, there have to be some level of changes. We did not say that we will not help ourselves. Remember that we were helping ourselves before you came. So when you come, all right, first, you cannot be single and you will now come in and will still be doing the things that single people are doing.
God bless.
So just add. We're not saying kill yourself. And I will say this over and over again. Love comes with giving. There was a day I called an aboki to repair my silver cut. And his girlfriend called him and he was answering the phone. The girlfriend said he needed, I think she needed 2,000 naira. I said, don't worry. It doesn't have 2,000 naira. I need to send her 1 key. You could see as little as he is, he still provides. So, and another thing I'm going to beg young guys, man, because date your level. Now, it is the girls that go and choose that if they give you hypertension. If you are earning 20K, there's a girl you give 2,000 and she will love you. There's one you will give 5K. If you come and want to date someone like that, you give me 2K. This is what was used to cause trouble now. They'll say, well, can you give 2K wherever? Date your level. Date your level as you evolve. Do you understand? Because these girls you are looking at, it's money used to maintain them. So I'm just going to say date your level and please work hard. God will bless your hustles because without money, love is like bitter leaf.
Thank you so much. I just want us to wrap this up by just advise anybody that is watching this right now that is maybe in a relationship that they're confused about whether their partner likes them or not. They're thinking about, should I leave this relationship or should I still stay in this relationship? How do they know when enough is enough? We all experience things in relationships. At what point is it okay to say, you know what, I'm done? At what point should you still keep working?
Anything that begins to disturb your peace is not worth it. Peace of mind. Because when you don't have peace, you can't function well. In your workplace, in your love life, if somebody cannot give you small peace, like peace doesn't mean that it must come from this person. Just peace of mind. When it starts getting to the point whereby every time you're scared to go home, you're scared to make a call. In fact, you are scared to have a conversation. You don't know where you go talk now. Where they go say you don't talk. Then the relationship is beginning to die. And people need to learn to let go. It is not everybody that you love that you must marry. Love is not enough. We can experience love once in our lifetime. They might not even be our husbands.
Do you believe in soulmates? Do you believe there are people that, like me now, God has created somebody for me? God has created. Do you believe in it?
Soulmates is just finding like minds. There are some men that we meet and they will tell me in a day, I know them. You know when you meet, and the person said, it's as if we've known each other. We know soulmates. Other ones are the ones that religion just coined to be rewashing our head. Nobody is meant for each other. God said, go and choose. When he gave Adam, if carry fruits, go give Adam a chop. What's in Adam talk? God, now the woman where you give me, God can say, oh yeah, from today onward, you will use your hand and go and choose whoever you want to marry. There's nothing like soulmates. Soulmate is friendship. There are some people that before you sneeze, you might be smiling. They know that you are not happy. That's a soulmate. What does it take to be a soulmate? I have studied you. I have taken my time to understand you. So I know even when you're smiling, when you're angry, I know what that's soulmate. Nobody is meant for anybody. You should not deceive anybody. But all the people that are meant for each other, they've all divorced, they've broken up. Even though they're two blood oaths.
I want my best friend don't divorce.
And they've got to be shrine to one. So soulmate is just friendship. We are not patient to learn people. If you are patient enough to understand people, know when to be quiet. Like when my mind is upset, I'm hyper. My voice can bring down this. I had to let. I used to be very, very temperamental. So what did I do when he's talking? I keep quiet. I don't talk when it's done. Maybe after 2 days, I'll now go back to that topic. Because as of then, now he has won. Men like to win the conversations. Now I know agree the t-shirt. You will still do that thing once, but just tell them, okay, baby, I want to travel to Canada. Okay, don't go. Okay, no problem. 3 days later, you will go again. Baby, do you want this? I think he has relaxed. So it's just to learn how to communicate with your partner. Somebody needs food. You cook better face salad. As they are eating, you are rubbing them, you are gisting. So just understand the people that you're with. Because everybody have that thing that tickles their fancy. And love is the most beautiful thing. Nobody can tell me anything about it. If they give me breakfast 20 times, I love it. I still love again.
I agree with you. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And most importantly, I hope you learned one or two things. I've learned a lot from this conversation. I hope you took something from this conversation. And I hope that at the end of the day, we all find somebody that we can love and that would love us right back also, because there's nothing more beautiful than love that is reciprocated. Thank you so much for this, and bye.